producing.
Tonight, we're taking a look at a very important issue affecting just about every American: internet bills and intellectual property. Over the past few months, you might have heard the terms ACTA, SOPA, PIPA, or CISPA. They're all acronyms for bills that have attempted to make their way through Congress with the express purpose of protecting intellectual property on the internet.
The thing about music is that music should be available to anybody that wants to hear it. I think that there should be no such thing as a price tag on music.
I think it sends the wrong signal to give the government the ability to shut down websites. The web should be a free medium that promotes democracy around the world. When America's trying to convince China and Iran that they shouldn't be shutting down the web, we shouldn't be shutting them down.
The file-sharing website Pirate Bay has been taken offline, possibly forever. Swedish police raided the company's office in Stockholm, seizing computers and other equipment.
Honestly, the United States has been the leader in the world for allowing free communication. It would be a real tragedy if that changed.
So basically, each time you shut the Pirate Bay down, we will multiply.
In my personal opinion, music piracy is a result of the music industry's failure to embrace the internet.
I would say that music piracy is definitely something that happens all over the place, and that though it is illegal and a bad thing, I don't know if it can really ever be prevented, especially in a world where everything can be accessed and leaked on the internet so quickly.
I think that it's wrong, but I know that everybody does it, and I'm guilty of doing it, but I know that I probably shouldn't.
For me, I think music piracy is, it's wrong, but it's helpful at the same time. It's wrong because if the artist, it's taken away from the profits that the artist is going to make, and so that's taking away their money. But at the same time, they're getting exposure for that. And I mean, if you're an artist, you do it for the music, not the money.
I don't really think it's that bad of a thing. It sure beats paying like $10 for an album.
Yeah, I think it is harmful to them because, you know, they're losing their product and people are purchasing it for, or not even purchasing, you know, they're not getting any money off people downloading their work, basically. But generally it's not always in good of quality, but with that being said, I don't think people really pay attention to that. But with that being said, I'm very confident that record labels also take into account that, you know, that their product is going to get pirated and such, which is probably why prices could be where they are today, because they know that you gotta try and make up for your losses in some other way.
Do you believe that music piracy is harmful to artists and record labels? I mean, obviously it is, because that's one of the ways that they get their money, but at the same time they're filthy rich, so does it really hurt them? I don't know.
I mean, it probably is, but I don't care. They're already rich.
A solid 40 or 50%, if not more, substantially probably pirated music in some way, shape, or form. You see it with your peers all the time. You're like, hey, where'd you get this? Oh, MP3 download. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay. Or they're like, YouTube to MP3. You know what I mean? In high def audio. And it's just, people are just always trying to find ways, because and especially prep and high school, college students, young adults, we don't have a lot of money, which means we all want to listen to music. So what's the best way to get that? You pirate it.
60%. Because everybody's streaming now. I forget what the service is called. Spotify, that's what it is. Everybody uses Spotify. But a couple people do it. I don't really see too many people downloading illegally. It's more streaming, so. Or YouTube, or something like that.
I think that probably the number of people that actually pirate their music has gone down just because of streaming services like Pandora and Spotify. And I think more people stream more than ever kind of thing now, but definitely I'd say 95% of people illegally download music.
I think everyone knows that it's wrong, but people don't think it's as wrong as, say, sneaking into a store and stealing a candy bar, because you don't physically have to do anything but click a couple of buttons. I know that like advertisements are like flooded with, you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't steal a candy bar, but music piracy is illegal. But the fact is, most people don't feel bad about it after they do it.
I think that the older generation probably thinks pirating music is bad because they've always bought their music, but I've personally never bought music, so for me to buy music now would be really odd. So I don't find it weird at all or bad at all.
The older generations probably think that it's wrong, because I know one time I had a teacher that gave me this long lecture about why it was wrong to pirate music, and it only stopped me for a little bit, maybe 2 weeks. And then, do you think it's doing right or wrong? I just think it's kind of like, yeah, it's probably wrong, but it's not that big of a deal and they're rich anyway, so I think that's just like the general attitude towards it.
I think piracy is looked at as bad, but not extremely bad, like criminal bad, but it's still looked down upon, but it's not that big, because everybody does it.
Everyone would say that anything that's illegal should be stopped. And maybe I was really sympathetic to the record label people, or if I was really sympathetic to the movie industry, I'd be like, yeah, it's up, but I don't think that's ever possible.
I don't want to pay for my music, so I don't want it to stop. And I guess if I had to stop it, I want to know how to.
I would go about stopping the problem by services like Spotify and Pandora, because people are more willing to pay $5, $10 a month for unlimited streaming than $1.99 for one song or $20 for one album.
I think as long as artists charge money for music, that there are going to be people who pirate it. I think that one of the best ways of stopping it is like with Spotify. Spotify, you can pay $5 a month if you're a student and have access to all the music, but you still pay for it. So
I think that piracy probably should be stopped, because it's not fair, because you're kind of screwing people out of their money. And like, Mariah Carey doesn't need your money, but maybe the person who, I don't know, did a little part of that needs your money. I don't know, so it's probably bad, but I think that it's kind of going out anyway, and so is buying music just with the streaming services. I think a lot more people stream than ever before.
I think piracy is not that big of a deal. The artist is going to make all their money from touring and streaming, so downloading the album is just going to give them exposure.
People aren't willing to purchase music in the traditional sense anymore. It's outdated and annoying, to be honest.
I don't think it's ever going to go away. I think it's a problem. I think the only way to prevent that is try and make sure you don't get hacked and stuff like that. But with that being said, it's just going to happen, and I think movie labels and record labels, they definitely take into account that there's a high possibility that their product will get pirated.